Hey everyone, before we get into today's interview, I wanted to share with you a time-limited opportunity that we have put together due to demand from our clients. If you are interested in building your firm and your personal brand for the long term, becoming a published author is probably the most effective way to do this. But most people don't have the time and energy to manage the entire publishing process, which involves all of the research, all of the trial and error, all of the dead ends, and all of the pain. So to help our clients because they asked for it, we launched a new program called Experts Published Author Program, intended to help our clients become published authors with a very small and a very limited time investment. In fact, if you write a chapter, we will get you published. Email support@firmsconsulting.com asking for more information about the Experts Published Author Program. The deadline for applications is the end of this week. That's right, the deadline for applications is the end of this week. So if you're thinking about building your personal brand for the future and think of all the benefits that will bring, or if you want to build your personal brand to help your business, now is the time to write to us at support@firmsconsulting.com. Hey everyone, it's Michael here. In today's episode, I'm going to answer a question about the publishing program we have. The question is this program good for me, good for my career? I'm trying to understand the value to me relative to this point in time for my career. So I'm going to answer this question with a question and I'll break it down. I want you to think of anyone who's ever published a book that had a neutral or negative impact on their careers. Now, maybe the book is controversial. Maybe some people don't like them, but they get called in. The more controversial a book is, you get media time. So it's not that bad. But it's very hard for me to think of an example of anyone in the world who's published a book and it was bad for them. In fact, if you look at the world we're in, which is professional services, whether it's management consulting, private equity, venture capital, investment banking, that's the world we occupy. It's a very elite space. People listening to me, you may not be in those sectors, but you're an elite person in your sector. But in just about any profession that I can think of, whether it's law, being a lawyer, an accountant, and so on, publishing is a badge of honor. The people who do it are very senior, they have something to say, and it's immediately people think of them as being the most senior and the best in their field. So if you are doing what the most senior, the most important people, the best people in your field are doing, what do you think people will think you are like when they see you publishing? They'll think you are senior, the best in your field, and you're at the partner level. Why would you not want to give that signal to anyone at any stage of your career? That's how you have to think of it. You've got to think of a book as a weapon. So your career is the battlefield you're on. And every time you face an adversity or a quest or a task, you've got to reach back and pull out some weapons. A book is a weapon. You've got to use the weapon. But if you look at the case study I put out, it's not that difficult to use that weapon, right? So you've got to think about how you're going to use it, right? People who publish are people that others want to speak to. They get contacted by people they've never spoken to before, never seen before. They widely expand their network. They are not people who are dependent on the relationships they have at that moment. They're not people that are dependent on a manager who may not like them because the book allows them to network with more people and have opportunities and bypass these barriers. You build credibility not just with external people and potential clients, but also internally. Whether it's a book, whether it's a chapter, doesn't matter what stage you're in your career, my question is, how can you not want to be seen as the best in your field, irrespective of the stage of the career you're in? If you're an associate, why would you not want to be seen as a more senior person? If you're a more senior person, why would you not want to be seen as an even more senior and a more thoughtful person? The thing about life is that no matter what stage you're in, you always are moving forward. You always want to move forward. So a book is a way to move forward. And if your goal is to move forward, then it doesn't matter what stage you're in. It's always going to help you move forward. And that's how you need to think about these things. You always want to be thinking, how do I move forward? What can I do that other people are not doing? How do I develop some advantage that makes people know I'm the best, reach out to me, and want me to move forward? So when you think about a book's a tool that is going to help you overcome many barriers you have. And it's not just client barriers, as I mentioned, also internal barriers where maybe your team doesn't support you. Maybe you've got a difficult relationship with a manager, and unfortunately, because you have no other relationships and nobody's contacting you and clients don't know you and clients don't want to know you, your entire life, your entire well-being, the future of your family is dependent upon one manager who doesn't like you, giving you opportunities that they're not going to give you because they don't like you. Books change that. Publishing changes that. The more people you know, the more people that reach out to you is better for you. And again, I want to stress this. It doesn't matter what stage you're in your career. In fact, it's maybe more beneficial when you are younger. And that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing the episode. Finally, I want you to remember that the only way to get access to our special offers, the only way to get our special pricing, and the only way to get samples of our content is to join the list on firmsconsulting.com. It's the only way also to get access to our unique advanced content that we make available to insiders. So if you want to get a sneak peek of things, test it out, see what's in there, this is the place to go. And finally, I want to thank you again for making us one of the largest podcast channels around the world for careers and for the 2 million downloads and counting.